Okay, so tonight I'm gonna cover one of the passes that I kind of like. We're gonna start off more so not less the entry, but the actual pass, and then we'll transition through to show some of the entries. Yeah. So we're gonna work the over/under pass. Right. This is the way I kind of like to do it. I mean, there's multiple ways to do it, but normally you're in a scenario where bottom person's on his side trying to fight you. One of the key things, right, is in the over/under mount, you want to make sure that you straddle this leg, right? The leg is straddled. This is important here. If you don't have this and you go in, you can get triangle, right? So you want to straddle this leg here. Your opponent's going to be up. So the pass itself is a controlled pass, but to get into the position for the pass, it's explosive, right? If I just come in slow like this, it's going to stop me, right? So as soon as I see it, I just gotta go for it and dive into it. So there's a lot of precision. You kind of need to get in precise, or he has an easy way to get out. The more you practice it, the easier it will become to get to land in that position, right? So the one that I like to do involves collapsing his leg against his body, right? So when I come in, I'm gonna try to get my shoulder pressed tightly against the bottom of his foot. If it's too high, he can easily kick me away. So I'm going to target the lower part of his foot as I grab into him, right? So we're here, right? I see it. The outer hand is going to dive under his leg, so it kind of forces me to look away. Because if I'm squared up, he's just going to start shoving my head. So I dive my hand in as this one comes around, and I put my head right in this pocket right here. Because a lot of times if your head's up here, you're just going to dig it out, push it to the side, and your pass is stopped, right? So again, see, we're playing, and I see the opportunity. I dive in, and I collapse his leg. So this hand collapses his leg. Depending upon how high your partner's pants is, there's that little hole on the side. Sometimes I like to grab it, but if his pants is too low, you may have to grab up further, up even grabbing his belt, yeah? So the big part of this pass is you're pinning him to the ground. So it's not only coating this, but you're putting your chest into his hips so he can't move through, right? So I'm looking away, I'm holding here. I like to do a low pass. Other people like to do high pass. I just stay low on it, slowly work my legs around his leg, and I'm around. Your opponent's probably gonna be pushing you away. It's gonna be afraid of your head, right? So what I look for here is this hand here. When I see the opportunity, I swing it over and I pin his hip, right? So now I can slowly start to work my way up his body. His frames are not as effective because now I can wiggle around and move through it. My right knee here is also pinning his hip. So I have his hips on both sides here, right? So he's down, come in, do the cross face, slowly start to work my way up. And then I got him here, right? So again, it is an explosive movement to get into the position. We're rolling, we're moving. I see it. I dive in quickly. Hook his belt. Lay down heavy into his hips. He may try to wrap his leg around my leg, right? So it's hooked there. Sometimes I straighten it out, get his leg here, walk my leg over, push it. I'm clear. I'm past, right? He's framing, straightening. His hip, right? Start to work my way up, get the other knee in, slowly slide up, get into a high side control, and I got him down here. He's fighting me here, I come in hard, dive here, come in hard, pin the leg to his body, lay heavy on his hips, work my leg, this leg around, drive through, pin the hip, start sliding my right knee up. You can work in. You can pin his arm with your shin. From right there, you can use whatever variation you want to work your way up to the top, yeah.
If the guy's able to rock his hip and turn his hip, then the pass is not the way it should be done, okay? When you pin, you want to make sure that it feels like somebody's forcing you to do the splits. It hurts. That's why when he was doing the pass, I was making those faces. If you do it properly, it hurts a lot. And that's what's going to help force the technique through. You're forcing him to the end of his mechanics, And once he is shot, boom, you're gonna take it, right? So as they come in, right? Sometimes I see like over too much, right? And like wiggle your hip the other way. He can turn that way, right? So as we're here, we want to be, I like to grab the belt, he said whatever's in range, right? Keep the arm low. But as you drive, you extend. So that way his hips are stretched, right? If you're not driving and pulling, and you're just holding, this bottom leg is not controlled, this hip is not controlled. So when he shrinks and turns, he can turn a bit, right? And I have to work, maybe I might mess up. So as you come in, come nice and tight, pull him in, head right there, neck on, right? Now as he tries to shrink, right? Can't do much. Just clear, and then work up. Okay? Passing and like tight underpassing. So for example, say we're playing De La Hiva, right? I break off, I'm trying to knee cut, he blocks, right? But before his knee came in, right, I had an opportunity, okay, coming in. So I noticed that, right? Maybe I come back again, boom, right? I have this entry already in. So that idea of like using like a knee cut and then trying to like combo it, you know, so those kind of ideas where once I see him trying to recover, I'm just gonna jump in and dive, okay? I notice sometimes when you guys come in, you guys come from the top like this, but it's not adequate pressure because I'm gonna initially hit here. I wanna hit him lower so I can drive through him, right? So as I connect, I just, boom, okay? And he's stuck. Another area I like to do it is when I'm trying to pass underneath. So I'll be low, keeping my knees upright. I'm trying to go for these passes, maybe. I go for my double under, I like. Right, he blocks, he comes back again. I force his leg down, and I go here, right, and kick him in. Like I'm coming here, right? He wants to defend, he turns back. Okay, I pin his leg. Can combo it, just drop if I want. Right, so just looking for, when this leg is not so over. Because I had an idea too. If your leg does come over, if you guys are here, you can try this too. So say, we go for this under, his leg comes through, switch it to the chopstick pass, right? Collapse both legs, same idea. Drive through. So now just get creative. You know, maybe you like knee cut. You bring them back over. Okay, I have my space. And we're in. Sometimes if their leg's not straight, I can control their thigh, kick out, connect, come through. Okay, so like he said, all we're looking for is this opportunity when their hips are like this. If you don't have the opportunity, you need to create it, like I showed you. So if their knee is over, you might need to recenter them so that their hips open, and then you take your opportunity, right? Because if I'm here, his knee's down, I keep going like this. He knows what I'm doing, he's just gonna block, right? I'm gonna have to force it on him, right? So to make it a little bit more fluid, right? Then I'm going for this pass, come back around, boom! Again, this side, okay, he trapped me. I gotta come again, boom, right? Just using his movements and staying tight and just looking for key positions. That's all. And then all your moves you guys like, put it together how you guys like, but just look for these key moments when his hips come and dive in.